Oh, hey guys. It's currently over here on, what is this? US 20 over here in Iowa. Sadly, heading to Sioux City, but then I gotta drop down to Denver, so kind of blows. So you can tell, there's some blue sky. Haven't seen that in like a month and a half. Well, technically, it's been blue sky, but it's just been so smoky up here. This is the bluest I've seen in a month and a half. And look, you literally see it. It's so pretty, isn't it? I'm actually really starting to like this camera view. Really starting to like it. Got a pretty little bug that painted a picture for you right there. Oh, there's the sun just came out even more. Really brightened it up. This view does allow in a little bit more light, so it's a little bit, it lets more light in, so I don't know, it just kind of looks better. You also get to see a lot more, so. Not to mention that rock chip / crater that's right there doesn't look like it's gigantic, even though it is, and it's not right there in front of the lens. Going over 35 in a second. Last time I was here was middle of March. Normally, when I'm up here, I go straight from Sioux City, go straight home. After that on 20 into Wyoming, and then I go straight west from there. But that doesn't get to happen this week. Only got 29,000. Been averaging 8 MPG all August, and since my weeks are usually 3,600 miles a week, truck is doing amazing now. It's even going to get even better here when the injectors get done. When they get done. But we shall see what that does for MPG, because I'm also going to be turning the truck up a little bit too. Just a little bit. But like I said, I've been saying, is I'm just getting comfortable. Not really comfortable, but for lack of words, getting comfortable and used to the idea that these fuel prices are going to be like this for a bit. So what have you guys been doing? I mean, I've never really been the guy that drives like gotta go in a hurry, especially since I had my own truck. Like right now, 65, I'm doing 65. Getting 7.4 MPG. It is some pretty good crosswinds hitting me on that right hood mirror / headlight, like right down the corner. So it's headwinds / crosswinds combination. Kind of sucks. But I also generally barely ever do above 70. Now there's times like last week I was heading east and I did 75. In Nebraska, Iowa. Well, not Iowa. Generally, if I'm going to speed, I only do about 5 over. Especially since my insurance can see my ELD, and which also tied into the camera system, so they can kind of see, and the camera system can read the speed limit signs. So it allows me to do 5 over. That's all I do. Although I could probably set that up differently. I don't know. Sometimes it's wrong, but I fix that. This road's a little rough, a little bouncy. But I'm sure you guys can go, oh, well, just don't run cheap. No, I'm not running cheap. I make 11 grand going east, which is like, I think it's like 344 mile average. They've done something different for me going west. It's only been a benefit to me. I just don't know if it's going to stick around. I don't know if it's a bonus, or like a one-time thing, or what. We'll find out here at some point. But I do get like 250 a mile going west, which out northeast, man, that's amazing, right? I'd rather it be better, but we shall see. We shall definitely see. Now the real question is, with the capacity leaving the market, which end of July going into August, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, and Iowa did a 3-day blitz. 3,300 trucks got inspected. It was like 766 out of service orders. Somebody's napping in that passenger seat with a blanket on their lap. That's a dually that's running on one wheel right there. I don't know if you guys see that. Dually on the left. That's a dually regardless. Pickup bed, right? That's a dually. Originally it was a dually. And it's got a dually on the left, single tire on the right. That thing, it looks hideous right now. It's all fucking windy, jeez. There was all kinds of out of service. Like 86 drivers got arrested, for example. Yeah, crazy. But, you know, go ahead and go look it up. Go ahead and go Google it. But take away that 25,000 drivers who are taken off the road, and that's still just scratching the surface. Like, it's funny how, okay, CDLs, for those who think it's wrong, CDLs don't follow state law. States just issue the CDLs. That's it. But CDL follows federal law. Federal law doesn't care what the state law is. The only state's job is to give out the CDL by following the federal guidelines. That's it. That's all the state's supposed to do. It's supposed to test them and give them out. The rule is the English speaking has been a thing forever. Back in 2012, Obama said not to enforce it, and then states went over that and went. You give a lead, you know, they take a mile, right? You ever heard that quote, right? Give an inch, take a mile. Like, it's all kinds of shit like that, right? So it's just the enforcement's just being applied again. It ain't political. This fucking rule's been there forever. It's an old rule. And actually, the law, technically, it's not even a rule, it's a law. We had this green Bible. That's literally what it's called. For the trucker world, it's our green Bible. It has all the rules and regulations, meaning our laws that we gotta follow. Just like, for example, those who like drinking, we're not allowed 0.8. We're allowed half of that. And if it's up to me, honestly, I would say no alcohol. Period. If you're in the truck, period. But, you know, 0.4, we're allowed a half. Or 0.04, not 0.4, excuse me. Right? We have our own regulations and rules we gotta follow. It has nothing to do with being left or right. And I don't know why everything's gotta be political. I don't understand. Don't understand. But regardless, take away that shit. I don't know why people don't want people that are in charge, drivers in charge of such weight. We spend so much on the road. Be the best they can be, driver-wise. Be the safest it can be, regardless of what fucking demographic you are. It shouldn't matter. It is insane. That's besides the point. That's just besides the point. Problem in this world, though, everything's got to be too political. It can't just be common sense, you know. Hey, whatever it takes to make the world a better place, even if it means, you know, that the general, if whatever the rules are, right? Whatever it takes to make the world a better place. Then again, we can't even agree murder is murder, you know, the Lindsay Clancy thing. So, you know, it's funny how that works. I don't know. Anyways, what are you guys doing? You know, about your fuel mileage? Are you guys slowing down? Because you can't just get more race. Because, well, capacity's leaving, sure. Race it's gone up, but they kind of stabilized now. We're not even in winter yet. We're not even in peak season. So I mean, I kind of expect it as usual to kind of go up. Anywhere from Halloween into the end of the year, especially around the certain holiday weeks. But then we know, like, depending on the weather, like last January was good because of back-to-back storms, right? Certain areas. But like generally January and February, it's just kind of there, you know. March is sometimes goes one way or another. So you can't just like, oh yeah, increase. Well, if it's too cheap, I don't run. might be sitting for months then. You know, it could be sitting for days or weeks. Who knows? You definitely have more flexibility with paid off equipment. That fucking ladder. But I mean, I can imagine having a hood truck built with these fuel prices right now. And there's always a specialized freight, but I don't really talk about that. I don't know anything really about it to talk about. But I'm just talking about general commodities, right? General goods. And honestly, if would I do 65, 68 constantly? Yeah, but I can't do it with these loads. These loads, there is a certain amount of time I had to kind of move from point A to point B. One of the downsides about LTL, it's more expedited, right? It's more go-go, which doesn't always work, you know. Sometimes, you know, one warehouse holds you up, like my Buffalo drop I just did going east. Show up at 10 a.m. for an 11 a.m. appointment. I don't leave till 1700. So I had 2 other deliveries that day that got pushed to the next day. So luckily, because that load going east I just did was easy peasy, right? Easy peasy. That's the most sleep I've had, the most rest I've had. I felt amazing. All but one was first come, first served at US Foods. All the rest were first come, first served. So I was able to make up the time. You know, make it up, you know, the next day. You know, I slept at the warehouse the next day, out in the street, got up first thing in the morning, got that off, went to the next one, and then I ended up parking I ended up parking that night at the one that I was going to start next morning. So I do get to go to a lot of customers I'm able to sleep at too, which really helps, especially when I had to kind of go. It really does help. And like that AirDog, that's one thing I did that's helped a lot. A lot actually, really a lot. This is in my highest average MPG, and if I remember, about at the end of the month, I will post my mileage and my MPG to show you guys I'm not fucking anybody around, right? I'm not lying. I'm not fucking exaggerating numbers. I do an average 3,500 miles a week. But usually I'm in the 14.2 to 14.7 by the time the month's over. I'm not a fan of it per se, right? I'd rather definitely not work so hard. I didn't really when I just went easy. I didn't really feel like I worked. Besides the weekend, but that was my doing. Coming out of the house Sunday, I kind of had to go. That was my doing, right? That was the load. And actually, if I didn't go home, that shit would have been easy fucking peasy. My first delivery was in Erie, like 16:30. Well, by 16:30. So whenever I got there, pretty much dropped off some carbon fiber, right? But this truck is going to benefit from some things. Like I said, there are some things where I think adding some more horsepower and torque to this truck, because this truck's only 4 1/4 and 1750 torque. Add another 100 torque and what, 75 horsepower? Probably going to add up quite a bit, because it's just, like I said, it adds on reserve capacity. If I don't need it, cool, it's just there. But if I do need it, my truck doesn't have to work as hard. But I'm also getting ready to put a tire inflator on sometime next month. That alone will help. Well, I do need new drive tires, so. Alright, I'm trying to think of more things I can do to help, that can help my MPG, especially since I don't really have the option of just slowing down always. Sometimes I do, right? Like there's plenty of time, in upstate New York especially. At a certain point, at least in New York, I'm able to do 65, do the speed limit, I do it, right? I don't need to be in a hurry just to be in the sake of being in a hurry. My cruising days, meaning from going cross country, I'll do about 70, you know, on average, cruise control, right? I don't really want to work my truck hard, but I also know I slow down when I can. I bet you even if I was able to just consistently do 68, which sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. Like this run from Boston to Sioux City, I'll be there at night, parked on site, right? But Monday morning, 7 a.m. It's not. I don't know. I make it a 2-day run, regardless. I always make that 2-day run. All right, it's like 1460 miles, 1470, something like that. Make it a 2-day run. This whole, I would, well, because I got to be in Denver. I go from there to Denver for Tuesday at 4 a.m. I mean, I don't want to be an hour out of Sioux City and turn a 600 mile day, 620 mile day into a 700, 710 day the next day, right? No. Not to mention tomorrow I got a shower, right? Because Monday's usually my shower days too. So it's already going to be a long day. I don't need to add on another hour. Well, it is going to help a little bit because fuel actually up here, Holstein or whatever, CA Express, cheaper than Nebraska. Not by much, but I'm going to fill up there and then probably end up topping off in Ogallala again. But I don't know. There's only so many things that you do to like improve my EPG. Now my weight this month has helped, but can't just say it's been weight that's really what I'm getting good fuel mileage. I got one of my loads this month was 34,000 pounds, like 34.6, and I got 7.7 going from Kent to Boston. So, and I didn't lose 5,000 pounds of that to Buffalo. So that's cross country. And that's a lot of mountainy terrain to start off. There's a lot of elevation and a lot of elevation to work the first like 1,200 miles. It's like when I go that way. Okay, so if I go home, it's like 1,120 miles. So I mean, that's a lot of elevation. And actually, if I go how the route is, South Dakota, North Dakota, that elevation doesn't quit for pretty much 2 full days, so 1,400 miles. Like there's only so much I can do with this lane at least. But if I'm averaging 8 up here, I'd probably say 0.3 to 0.5 more average down south, or 40. Before I got my air dog on, before I fixed the fin clutch, this truck would get 0.3 to 0.5 mpg more down doing the Southern California loop. Now, what's really going to be nice, I'm going to have a full year of the compare and contrast. Air dog on in the winter, air dog off, compared to the winter. It's not always going to be the same exact weather. Fan clutch on, fan clutch off, which that Jeep is hauling ass. Those guys usually go slow. So it's going to be really, really nice, right, to get a real comparison. He's hauling ass too. Not by too much. There are some things I want to do, but they're more luxury items. Like I like to put the air tabs on the truck and trailer, although it'd be the truck. But I still gotta probably for next summer. I still gotta buy my new I'll replace my cab extenders. They were old and kind of cracked apart and falling off anyways, and then a year of this truck and the wind got into them and pulled them off even more, so last year I just ripped them off. So I just ripped them off because I was like, I don't want them falling off as I go down the road. They were getting there anyways because, like I said, they're cracking apart and then the wind was getting into them, making them flex. So I got to replace those cab extenders and then put the air tabs on. Which that'll probably add like 1%. Yeah, and if not, whatever. Supposedly the biggest thing they really do is help in the winds. Like you just kind of feel more stable in the wind. Just changes the vortex on off you. So even just more stability in the wind, whatever. That alone is a win for me. But again, what are you guys doing? Maybe I need more ideas that know, that I haven't done yet or haven't thought about yet that you guys are doing. But anyways, you guys stay safe out there. Catch you next time. Bye.